right back. Second team they did for they had to walk out.
20 yards away, everybody.
Well, left guard they had Hergel.
What?
We're doing one on
10 yards.
10 yards away. Clear path.
Or right back. But yeah, the left guard was the rotation. We had to have 6 yards. I think they all got 2 steps.
All right, guys. Yeah, look, third day in a row in pads. So I thought, practice was a little bit chippy today, which, isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think our guys are competing. I think the execution, overall was as good as we needed it to be today. But, that's kind of to be expected a little bit throughout training camp. We're going to have some of these days, and so how do we respond? We'll have a day off tomorrow. How do we respond and come back and have a good practice on Friday? I still think we got some things accomplished. I just don't think it was quite as clean as what I would have liked for it to be today. But look, we'll go back and look at the tape and see what it ultimately looked like.
Hey, Dennis, at what point do you have to have a conversation with the players about focus more on getting the work done versus all the pushing?
Yeah, well, I think that's a constant conversation that needs to be had. And look, we're in training camp. I don't know that I've ever been in a training camp where there's not some of that goes on. And in particular, when you've had 3 straight days, padded practices, hitting against the same people, and so there's some of that's to be expected. And obviously we can't let it get escalated because you can't do that in the game. And so I think that's just a constant thing that we're talking about and discussing. And look, I think relative to a lot of places I've been, we've been pretty clean in that area. So we'll keep working at it.
Is that what kind of prompted the sprints before the last set? It's obviously a little unusual.
No. We've incorporated a little bit more of what I'm calling the developmental period. So there's only so many reps that go, in training camp. A lot of those reps are going to the 1s and the 2s. And so some of the guys are on the 3s, aren't quite getting as many reps. And so this is an opportunity at the end of practice for them to get, 10 to 12 good, solid reps. And develop some of these young players. I think that's, the business that we're in. And so it's something that, we're trying to incorporate this year. We'll see how many times we can do it, how much we can get out of it. Numbers and people available will obviously, make it, a little bit more difficult at times to be able to do that. But it's an opportunity for some of the, young guys or even some of the veteran guys that aren't, working with the first and second group, a chance for those guys to get a few more reps.
Third down work today. Third down work today. What do you think of the defensive effort for third down work?
I thought overall, I'd say pretty good. Again, we'll go back and look at the tape, to see exactly, how we operated both, offensively and defensively, and kind of keep score of that just a little bit in terms of did you make the first down or not, and see where we're at. But I thought just on first glance, I thought we did some good things defensively.
Hey, what does this ramp-up period look like for Chase? It looks like, obviously you definitely want to be a little cautious with him, and now he's ahead of schedule, I guess.
Yeah, well, he's certainly ahead of where we thought he was going to be at this point in time. So I think the ramp up for him is just every day you're going to see a little bit more. Now what's a little bit more? Well, maybe a couple more reps each period until finally we're ready to fully incorporate him into the whole deal. But I haven't seen any limitations at all out of him. Other than I think, look, he's got a, it's really kind of been a while since he's really been, playing real football. That was all the way back to whatever it was, January, February early this year. So just trying to get his football legs up under him a little bit, and I like the progress that he's making.
Would you say so far he's been the guy you hoped he would be?
Yeah, I mean, I would say he's exceeded my expectations to this point, just in terms of, I didn't really know the player. I knew of him coming out of Ohio State and the talent that he was, and obviously saw him play in our league, but I didn't really know him personally. But just the way that he's gone about his business, the way that he's come to work every day, he's done everything that we've asked him to do, the way we've asked him to do it. Never has there been any sort of kickback on anything, and so, I've been really pleased with that part of it, and I think, as you watch practice, I think you can feel it when he's out there. So I'd say probably exceeded expectations a little bit.
Yeah, Eric and DeMario not in the team today. Is that just kind of a Veterans Day?
Well, part of it, he also pulled up with a little bit of a hamstring on one of those one-on-one drills. So we had two guys, Tommy Hudson and DeMario, that left practice with hamstrings.
And Eric was the planned day.
Eric McCoy was a planned day.
Okay. Is that a change? Because in the past we've talked to him and he said, "Hey, if Eric's out there, I want to be out there." So.
Yeah, I think Eric's just one of those players that he's extremely important to us, and he's had a history of a little bit of soft tissue injuries, and so I think that's part of just managing that. I think that list is way shorter this year than it's ever been in terms of guys that we need to manage. We're really basically talking about a few guys on defense, some of the older players on defense, and just a couple of guys on offense that we've got some sort of management plan based on either age or injury history.
There's no Cedric Wilson or Huggins out there?
Both of them dealing with injury. Cedric a groin, and I guess you'd call Bub more of a shin. It's a muscle here on the lower part of the leg.
Is there any update on Nick Salazar?
No, he's dealing with calf injury.
We've seen Juwan kind of just running, ramping up. Is he maybe close to return, or how's he been?
Yeah, I'm not getting into any timelines on anybody. I mean, certainly there's a process that goes along with recovery, and when guys get out here and you start seeing them working with the trainers, and they're doing land-based training, then they're getting closer to being able to come out here and start participating in football activities. So exactly how long that takes, it remains to be seen.
Yeah, what do you think about your tight end room so far? Especially not having Juwan.
Well, look, I mean, obviously not having Juwan makes it look a little bit different, I think Foster's done a good job with the things that we're asking him to do. Holker's a guy that's kind of caught my eye a little bit in terms of, doing some things in the passing game. I think it's an area that we still have to improve on. When you look at the guys that we have out there right now, we've got one guy that's, proven that he's got the ability to play in this league at a certain level, and then we've got a lot of other guys that are trying to prove that they belong, and so I think that's where the process is at the tight end position right now.
So you happy with your O-line depth?
Yeah, look, I mean, I still think all that still kind of remains to be seen. Let's play this thing out throughout training camp and see how everybody develops. See where we're at the end of training camp. If we feel like we've got the depth that we need. I think from a talent standpoint, I think we've got enough guys on our offensive line that I think we can find a group of guys that from starters to backups to practice squad players. I think there's a group of guys that have the talent to be able to play in this league, and And yet, if we see somebody that's out there on the street or becomes available that we feel like can help us, we'll look to explore every avenue that we can.
Dennis, would you say that Isaiah Foskey has taken a step forward in this camp?
Yeah, but I want to see him take a jump. You know what I mean? And so I think that's where we're at. I have seen some improvement out of the player, and yet I think my vision for him is more than what we've gotten to this point. And I think that's part of the process. You know, that's not to say that I'm not pleased with what I've seen. I just know there's more in there, and we're going to continue to try to work to get, you know, everything out of him that we possibly can. And so, but in terms of at the start of training camp, from where we were, call it even at the end of last season to where he is now, there's been progress, and so I'm hoping that we'll continue to make that progress, and then hopefully as we get into some of these preseason games, you begin to see, you know, some significant, you know, leaps in terms of his production.
And yeah, it's kind of off topic, but there was a report today about the NFL experimenting during the preseason with some technology that gets rid of the chain gang. Have you seen anything about that? And what are the
I did, and
pros and cons, or do you know enough about it?
I don't know that I know enough about it to really have much of an opinion. Look, I know this, regardless of how they figure it out, okay, it's 10 yards for a first down, okay, unless there's a penalty. So I kind of know that. So I have a pretty good idea of what the line to gain is, you know. Now, how they figure out, did they actually make it or not, that's for somebody else to figure out how to do that. All right? Okay, guys, thanks.
Mardi Gras style.
Oh. Steve, yeah, you want to shoot one?
Yeah, give me one sec.
Yep. How was Benson?
Really good.
Told you help with that. Also, like, Demario Davis leaving hamstring. That's him.
What's up? Good? I don't think you'll ask him anything. I didn't. Chase Young, Fitzpatrick, and John.
Did Mario not participate in team drills at all?
He's coming up right now.
Yards away, stand by.
So it was funny. He kind of like saw something picked up like
40 yards away.
I'll get that over. Oh, really? Case is coming by the way. Yeah, it was funny. I was thinking that's the problem. We'll do some chopping a little bit. That'll be fine.
25 yards away, everybody.
Katie, we look next there next to him.
15 yards away, clear path.
Show what he looks like next to a normal person. Same with me. That's my very first.
10 yards, stand by.
The DA said the same thing. I didn't know.
Here we go, everybody.
All right, guys.
Chase, would you say at this point early on it feels good to be where you are?
Yeah, definitely, man. Feel good to get out, practice with the guys. Yeah, man, just feels good.
Hey,
What was
Chase,
that
did you
weight
expect to be cleared this early? I think Dave said you got cleared early, but did you expect to be cleared early?
I felt like I was just doing what I had to do to, to speed up my, recovery process. And what I did, it worked, and just grateful.
What was the weight like just trying to get out there?
Yeah, I mean, it was, I started to read more. I feel like times where I just couldn't work out or just had to, not be involved with, what the team was doing. Just really had to just bite down and, lock in on just recovering.
How do you feel like you've done the reps you've got?
I feel like I did pretty good. Still getting the playbook down, getting real comfortable. But yeah.
Was there anything different about recovering from this injury from some of your previous ones?
Yeah, I mean, this one is just, I just really just had to chill and just let my body do what it's do.
Do you
Chase,
feel completely comfortable out there right now? Or is there ramping back up for you?
I mean, I feel comfortable. We still gonna ramp it up. Last thing they worry about is my neck. They just making sure, because I had to sit 2 months that everybody else was working. So just making sure I don't get no soft tissue injuries, nothing like that. That's why we ramping it up.
Yeah, Chase, timetable is one thing, but also like what do you miss in those 2 months as far as working out, staying in the shape you used to being in, and everything?
Yeah, I mean,
That's all been really positive for you coming back, you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still young, so it didn't hurt me too bad, right? Did a lot of BFR, like BFR twice a day, doing everything I could to keep my body in the best shape. Got in the pool a lot, so I try to do everything possible without lifting and just really running to stay right.
If we were talking to you, your first camp with the Saints, and the injury wasn't any part of this equation, it was just about your career, what is it you want to be focusing on most this month to be the best version of yourself?
Just be a great teammate. Get the playbook down, do my job.
I know both Dennis Allen and Mickey Loomis said they feel like you do have a healthy chip on your shoulder, and they like where they're getting you in your career. I mean, is that a fair way to describe your attitude heading into this season?
I'm just going out like I do all the time, be myself, do me, and just be Chase Young.
What have you made of the pass rush around you as well as some of the other guys?
Yeah, now we got some dogs. I ain't gonna fake. Big Carl, obviously the OG Cam. Been learning from him a lot, and just trying to soak up everything that I can from those guys to add to my game, just to make us all, as a whole, real good group.
So I think D.A. was saying how impressed he was with you physically, how imposing you are. Where would you say you are physically, I guess, in the process? Maybe if you put a percentage on.
I don't even have no percentage. I mean, I feel good. I feel like it's, we still got another month to the first game. I feel like, I've been in the weight room every day, so still trying to stay on top of my body, You know, so I think I'll be even better in a month.
Did you say earlier you were reading?
Yeah, I've been reading a lot more when I was just injured, because sitting in the house, you get tired of watching TV. So I just started reading a little more.
Or what have you been reading?
So right now I'm reading something called Do Hard Things. And just some, you know, just a nice little read. In camp, I ain't reading that much, maybe like 10 pages a night, you know, just to calm myself down. But
You find that relaxing?
yeah, relaxing. Yeah, and you know, got to feed the brain. You know.
What is your impression of Carl Granderson so far? Like, what does he do well from your vantage point?
First of all, he got a dog mentality. I feel like it has to start there. You know, you gotta have that dog in you to, I feel like, to be great at this game. He has a very good bend, I feel like, around the edge. And very great power. I feel like he has a wide range of moves that he can use in his toolbox. And, you know, we always going back and forth about, okay, Carl, what you do right here? And, you know, he asks me what I do here. You know, if it's an angle, if it's a step. We always come talk to each other after, you know, maybe a third down rep.
Chase, what do you expect us to be saying about you 6 months from now?
We'll see. We're going to see.
I noticed you having those conversations with Tali Floyd on the other side too. You probably had a few first-round offensive tackles in your career, but what's your impression of him so far?
Oh, dog. He gonna be a real great player. Real patient, super strong. You know, even when I'm going against him, I gotta mix it up on him, dial it in, because he is just so massive. And you know, a guy who's massive, who's patient and strong. I mean, you can lightweight give them anything. They just sitting on you. So,
Can you,
no, you good.
can you tell that he hasn't been a left tackle before?
Nah, he's a thing I feel like that makes him different. He's a very smart player. Very smart. I feel like every day he's asking me a piece here or there that he can learn from. Okay, what did you do at the top of your rush right there? Do you always want to go inside? He is always trying to learn and get better for that next rep.
And what have you been able to pick up from Cam the last few months?
Everything. A lot of things. Things about my hand placement a lot, pad level. A lot of things in the run game in terms of staying low when we need to peak, when we don't need to. So I'm going to pick with Cam all camp, hoping he don't get annoyed.
You work with some, you know, Kerrigan and other pass rushers, but like, does he provide kind of a different perspective for you at all? Like, is this fresh for you?
Yeah, Cam, because Cam, he's a guy who can use speed, he can use power, he can go speed to power, he can go power to speed. So it's definitely, I feel like, even like Nick when I was out there. You know, you got a guy who really does it all the time. So those guys I definitely try to study from and pick up from.
Is that a balance that you're still learning in your career of when to power, when to speed? Like,
yeah, I mean, I feel like we always gonna learn. It's always something, you know, we can learn how to change up on a guy. I feel like that's gonna go even when I'm, you know, God willing, year 12, 13, you know, I'm still gonna be learning.
Is that an area though where you maybe made some of the most growth in your career? Is deciding the ratio and the timing of which, since you have both in your arsenal?
I'll just say I wouldn't even say the most growth. I just say, you know, it's inching every day.
Has deciding what weight to play at, was that something you toyed around with earlier in your career and you felt good with in recent years?
Yeah, I mean, as long as I feel good, as long as I know I can move, I can bend the edge, I ain't really too tripping. As long as, you know, I don't look fat.
That's your key.
All right, as long as I don't look fat out there, then I'll be all right.
And how unique has it been to play some snaps next to Cam? That's a pretty fun combo, huh?
Legendary, you know, getting snaps for the Hall of Famer. You know.
But I mean, when he's in a tackle and you two can play off each other.
Yeah, nah, getting snaps for the Hall of Famer, shoot, we can dial it up. So that's exciting.
Anything else?
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
guys.
Chase.
Appreciate it.
I set my gauge right up here.
Here, I got you.
Cool. What's up, y'all?
How are you doing?
Enjoying the weather, if you ever asked that.
You're obviously getting a ton of opportunities here. We've seen you in 3 different positions already. We've seen you with the first, the second. Is this what you were hoping when you chose this opportunity this offseason?
I think any opportunity in the NFL is a good one. It's all about the frame of mind you have and the willingness to work. Early on in my career, I showed some position versatility with another organization, and even in the one I was with just these last 2 years, played quite a few positions. Something I try to pride myself on is being reliable. No matter which position it is, it's a little tougher necessarily with techniques, possibly sometimes, but been very fortunate, with Clint's offense being similar to some other coordinators I've worked with, and wanting to achieve the same goal of what we're trying to do in the run and pass game. So that familiarity, and have some great teachers that have really helped my transition here and allowed me to show some of my skill sets at different positions.
You obviously signed a little later in free agency. I mean, was there a limbo period? Like, if I don't sign now, is there a starting opportunity? I mean, is that a tough thing to navigate, or?
It wasn't tough. I have a great support system, my wife, and just had my first kid, and so I had a lot of daddy-daughter time, and God works in mysterious ways sometimes with that, and our schedule is sometimes pretty tough, so the bright side is got to spend a ton of time going to the zoo, music classes, watching her do little roles in the gymnastics class, so I may not necessarily been with the team the whole time in the spring, but it was a good opportunity when the time came, and it's been the right fit so far. The room we have is a tight-knit room. It's a close room. Of course, we got a stud at quarterback. I played against this defense twice in my career and last year, and it's a tough, challenging defense, and which only makes you better on offense. So it's kind of fits everything I wanted, and hoping to find a team.
Lucas said even with just the first team, I think you had 3 different left guards kind of rotating in and out today. What's the difficulty in that? What is kind of the skill that's needed to just make it work next to a different person?
It's communication, and JB does a great job when we're doing Indy. We rotate, and I got to know who's next to me. Whether it's a young guy and kind of figuring out his skill set versus a veteran who's seen a few different looks, and you might have something on paper that's how you do something, but we're the ones out there fighting and battling, and they may see it a little different way, and working within that way. So really comes down to communication and trust, and like I said, alluding to the room's really tight. Love coming to work with all the guys we have in there every day, and that makes it easier is the willingness to work and the communication that we do have up front.
It's kind of been your initial impressions of Wanda here, Tali.
Oh, Tali. I've been fortunate in my, I guess, decently long career to be around a couple first rounders. He loves football. He approaches it the right way. His mental game is ahead of some other guys I've been with. Just the way he approaches it, he approaches everything new, but with an attitude to work. He's extremely talented. I mean, it's hard for a rookie tackle in this business. He's a patient setter. He's got good hands. He moves well. He sticks his hat in the run game very well. Whatever they were doing at Oregon State, they were doing some good things because he's kind of ahead of some other guys I've been around, and it's all a testament to him. I mean, he's clearly worked very hard the whole time. Super excited to watch his career from here on out. Like, I think he's going to be a special player.
I've heard a couple guys bring up the work and the loving football. I mean, it seems like you're just kind of describing a pro, right? Somebody who kind of approaches the game professionally. Is that maybe sometimes you don't see that as much in rookies, or?
Yeah, I think it's hard for rookies to understand that there's like families to feed, and there's like this is a job. Like, don't get me wrong, it's the best job I think in the world. you get to play a kid's game, go out there with your buddies, have fun, but there is a certain level of accountability that's needed, and for a rookie to come in with that accountability is special, and to still kind of have fun being a rookie, and you know, him have fun with us too, like that's also part of it. But yeah, he's definitely a step ahead as far as being a pro.
You just had one last year, right? Rookie first round tackle last year in Chicago, right?
I've seen quite a few.
Yeah.
You know, if you go through the whole career, you could probably pick out a few. But yeah, Tolly's doing really well.
You can speak to like how you guys have tried to get the run game and the play action game to kind of work together, and how that process has kind of been unfolding for you.
Yeah, I mean, this being in this offense for a while, it's all about looking the same, feeling the same, getting motions that look like run or getting motions that look like pass, and breaking tendencies. And you really have to commit to the run game, I feel like, when this offense goes. And I think we've done a pretty good job so far of committing to playing a physical style of football, playing a style that's we're setting the tone, we're setting the line of scrimmage, we're not reacting. And when you can do that, and this defense is fast, this defense has played a long time together. I mean, I think this is from last year playing, like the linebackers that we have, they run so well and they diagnose so well that it stresses us to even be more detailed in that run, play action, pass game, which will help us down the road later on.
For so many teams around the league running or trying to run this type of offense, does it become less effective over time? And then also, what ways have you kind of seen Clint maybe try and add new wrinkles to it so everyone doesn't know?
I mean, I've seen this offense, you know, in a few NFC Championship games, and I've seen this offense with some MVP quarterbacks. It's a commitment for all 11. When all 11 are tied in together, it's a tough one to stop. I mean, I'll credit CO. I mean, he is putting his hat in the run game, said EQ, and then opens up shots for them too. I mean, it's when you've got receivers who are willing to block to help us spring, you know, AK and Jamal, and you know, that's awesome. But then they get theirs when we do that run play action and it looks like the same, then they can pop the top, and next thing you know, Derek's dropping bombs to Shaheed and all those guys. So it's effective, but it's all 11 have to be on the same page and committed to what we're trying to achieve each play.
That's the difference then, I'm guessing, because, like, you know, if 17 teams run this style of offense, it can't all be above average. But.
I mean, I guess that's your opinion, but I think when all 11 are humming and
Sure.
we're playing fast, I've seen it happen, and it's a good offense.
Anything else?
Thank you very much.
Cool.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
How you doing?
Heard you're a pretty good bowler.
yeah. No, I'm all right. Me and JT get together a lot, you know, so have a little competition. You know, he calls himself Kingpin, but I'm all right.
What's your nickname, though?
I really don't have one. You know, I just try to dethrone JT pretty much every time, so I try to call him Queenpin, but you know, we kind of go back and forth, but I'm pretty good.
What's this camp been like? It seems like you guys have been rotating a lot of guys in and out, safety next to Tyron. Like, how have you been approaching that just from the competition aspect?
I mean, it's good. I mean, you know, competition kind of brings out the best in pretty much everybody. I mean, it's kind of what helps us constantly go out here and improve. You know, there's no day to take off, no rep to take off. So, you know, you got to stay sharp. You got to stay at your best. But looking forward to it, you know. And then, you know, the biggest thing is in this league is, you know, it's the next man up mentality. So, got to have guys prepared, you know, because there is no such thing as a weak league at this point. So, you know, and we got to be able to rotate guys and all be able to go in and play different positions so we can help each other out. You know, it's kind of what it's all about.
What did you learn from your first year in this system? Like, is that helping you think?
I mean, just learning the scheme itself. You know, this is my first year since playing college football where I've had the same system, same coordinator, same everything. And so just being able to go out there and just actually know what to expect, know where my help is, know where, leverage side, where to play, kind of helps me play a little step faster, so more so focusing on what the offense is doing rather than just worrying about what my job is and what to do.
What did the end of last season like? How much did that kind of help you going into this season?
I mean, that's last year. I mean, was proud of myself and kind of how I finished off the season. Was just able to take advantage of, the opportunity that I got. Position coach Marcus Robb, he gave me a lot of great tips. He's a really good coach, and so he just stays on me. It's constantly about what you do now in this league. And so just constantly proving myself every single day, every single rep, putting it out on tape. Just so when I do get those opportunities this year to be able to go out there and kind of just implement the same success.
Was there something you felt like you proved in practice that coaches noticed you, or because you got the opportunity at the end of the year that you feel like you had been kind of building work to where they eventually noticed and wanted to give you a shot?
I don't think it's more so. Because I work on something pretty much every day, so just trying to get 1% better at pretty much the small things. As far as my eyes, technique. So it was just a consistent basis of just showing up every single day, being the same guy. And in this league, coaches have to be able to put guys out there they can trust, and can count on. And so just over the course of the year, they just saw that I'm just a guy who does things right, does things how they ask me to do, and so usually when you do that, good things happen. So and it's kind of what's the case.
We've seen you guys force a ton of turnovers to start the camp. How much of an emphasis do you guys place on that? And
huge.
Yeah.
Because we talk about running plays, this, that, and the third, but the game is about one thing. It's about the ball. And DA, he preaches it all the time. If turnover takeover ratio is the number one difference maker in this league. If you +3 going into a game, chances of you winning are like 90-something%. So just emphasizing taking the ball away, because it's not something you can go out there and just do on Sundays. It has to be who you are, it has to be your DNA, because one of his famous sayings, it's not about what you play, it's how you play. So our emphasis is taking away the ball, being a nasty, hunting defense, day in and day out, and we're doing it every day at practice. When you go out there on Sundays, it's just second nature. It just shows up.
And it's not just like making picks when they're available. It seems like
top down punch out.
Guys
oh, for sure.
Ball, yeah.
You got to get to the ball. Everybody's there. Because when everybody's swarming the ball, there is no such thing as missed tackles. And that's the only way we can create turnovers, because when the running back is focused on you and the other guys around him, he isn't focused on the ball. And so it creates opportunities for us to take the ball away. And on defense, the biggest thing we want to create is fear. It's the only advantage that we have, because we don't know where these guys are going. We don't know the plays. They have all the advantage. So our only advantage is fear. So the only way we can do that is by swarming them, attacking the ball, letting them know that there is no plays off.
You guys have like a leaderboard or anything like that?
Oh, for sure. We keep points of it pretty much every day as far as effort, mental errors, production. Just to kind of keep track of kind of where we're going throughout the course of camp.
You heard Lucas Patrick talking right before you got up here about how the offense is designed to make everything look the same, and you guys don't know what you're looking at. How is the offense doing implementing that so far?
Oh, it's hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard. It's challenging. But that's the beauty about it. They show up every single day and they give us stuff because like you say, a lot of people are trying to implement this offense throughout the course of the league. Because it's it's deceptive, and that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to deceive you into thinking one thing and doing something else. That's what makes defense so much harder than playing offense. I hate to say it, I can't say anybody can go out there and catch a ball because anybody would do it. But if you took some guys off defense and took them out there to do it, I'm pretty sure they could. But as far as playing defense, it's very, very hard. Everybody has to rely on the guy next to them. We have to be exactly where we're supposed to be. And at the end of the day, we have to swarm and attack him because they always have a step on you.
And John, what do you feel like Willie Gay brings to the defense?
Oh, Willie brings a lot. Two-time Super Bowler, so he brings the experience of winning at the biggest level possible, which is the goal for us. But also, he's a guy who's gonna hunt the ball. He got speed, size, athleticism. He checks all of the marks, and so I look forward to playing with him, seeing him on Sundays. But Willie's gonna be a guy that he can help this team win, not on just defense, but special teams as well. He's gonna be a guy that can help in pretty much any fashion.
Talk about JT and Willie. What kind of Mississippi State chemistry you guys got out here?
Oh yeah, no, we as Bulldogs, we like to stick together. We keep all the T-Sons guys, but it's a pleasure for us to for all of us to make it this far into our careers and just kind of still be with each other. We reminisce about the past and how things were at Mississippi State and kind of how things have changed over now. But it's a blessing. I mean, to be with some of the same guys you grew up and played college ball with. You know, we have like a lifetime friendship. We all have a group message where we kind of communicate. So, you know, it's a wonderful thing.
Could have you ever imagined Ole Miss?
Hmm?
Talking about Ole Miss?
Who?
Tucson?
School up north?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's what we call them, the school up north.
Could have you ever imagined that you three would have not only been in this position, but on the same team to be in this position? Is that kind of surreal?
Yeah, no, it is a surreal feeling. I mean, every day we wake up to do this job. I mean, it's a blessing. I mean, because like Lucas said, you know, we have one of the greatest jobs in America. And so to be able to go out there and do it with some of the guys that you put your blood and sweat tears with through college and, you know, this is a lot of people's dream and goal. And so for us to all be able to do it together, it just makes it that much sweeter.
Seeing this scheme in practice, a lot of teams are trying to run this style of offense. How do you think that can help? Will help once the season begins? And
I mean, I think it's going to help us a lot. I mean, you know, because Coach Clint, he does an amazing job, like you said, making everything look the same, but throwing a lot of wrinkles in there, you know, challenging our coverages, you know, how we play stacks, how we play bunches, double condensed, things of that nature. So just making sure that, you know, when we get to week one, we're going to be, you know, sharp, you know, as far as, you know, our checks, our adjustments, pretty much everything, you know, and so there isn't anything we're going to see throughout the course of the year that he probably won't throw at us over the next couple of weeks. So I think it's going to help us a lot, you know, as far as offensively and defensively.
Got to identify Taysom every day like he's the Mike
Oh, without a
linebacker or
doubt.
something?
Without a doubt. You know, they move Taysom around. They move a lot of guys around, though, you know, and so they use these different types of personnel to get into different looks, into, you know, like 21 personnel to run 12 plays and things of that nature. And so, you know, that's what the deceptive part is, you know, because you have to identify, is he a running back, is he a receiver, is he a tight end? And so, you know, sometimes they can mess with your rules and, you know, how you set the fronts and things of that nature and coverages, and so you have to be on point.
how have you seen guys like Howden develop from year one to
I mean, Jay Howe does a really good job of being a pro, you know, and that's, you know, the one thing we talk about pretty much every day in our room is just being a pro and being accountable because, you know, like D.A. and them says, you know, it's not his job to make sure we're ready, you know. So Jay Howe does a really amazing job of preparing and, you know, making sure he knows what to do, where to be. And then, you know, as far as the physical, you know, that's all there, you know. At this point, that's why we all made it to this part of our life. But his developmental mentally is the biggest step, you know, and what makes me proud just to watch him, you know, how he attacks, you know, watching film, things of that nature. You know, he's going to play in this game a long time. He's going to be a really great player.
Hey, Jonathan, was Tyron a guy you kind of idolized? Like,
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, come on, like we talk about it all the time, you know, have to give him his flowers, you know, he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Fame guy, you know. It's like, you know, when he was in college, when I was in high school, I'm putting on his tape, watching the Honey Badger, you know, everybody wanted to be the Honey Badger. And so to be able to play next to him, it's a surreal feeling, you know, just to be able to come out here and work with him every single day. I mean, you have to attack practice because it's like, man, I'm next to the Honey Badger.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I was supposed to be back. It was crazy.
Yeah.